Live. What's going on, everyone? Thank you all so much for tuning in this time. Everybody that's here, greatly appreciate it. Anybody watching on the replay, thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Well, every year, every year the Lakers lose a game to the Hornets, right? They did it last year too. Remember Mark Williams' revenge game? I mean, what do you say? Young, athletic, versatile team that is playing very good basketball. They've been very good recently. They've been putting up a lot of points. I mean, you give up 135 points to anybody, I mean, you're getting smacked. This is going to be the result. Lakers once again get blown out, right? Every time they lose, it's a blowout. I mean, now that I don't live in Vegas, I don't really gamble as much, but man, I just want to take the Lakers to get blown out every game, right? Like literally, like you probably make so much money. Just take them to lose by 15 plus every game. You're going to lose a bunch, but the odds are so good that, or maybe Vegas is caught up to it. Like you can just clock the Lakers in every time they lose. They're going to lose by 15 plus. Right? It's never a close competition, but nonetheless, future Laker Miles Bridges looked good. All right. That was a bright side. Future Laker guy that I want on the Lakers. He's one of my more favorite targets for the Lakers. Bridges was 19 of 13, 5 of 7 from 3, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 25 points. He's a guy that I really want. Rui played like a guy that looked like he's about to be traded. Honestly, that's what he kind of looked like. Kobe Buffkin, I actually kind of liked his minutes. I know people are going to look at the box score and see 0 of 2 and go like, oh, he's trash too. Disagree. I thought he was nice. I thought he did good with the opportunity he got. He's kind of an afterthought right now. He's kind of just out there right now. But I thought he had a nice sequence where Ayton had to go and help out on the perimeter. I think it was against Colin Sexton. And he had to go out and help against Colin Sexton. And then Kobe Buffkin ended up crashing the glass. He had that nice hustle play. Thought he was moving his feet well, playing defense, right? This was his first game and opportunity. I thought for his first game and opportunity, I thought he looked like the type of player that we need. Obviously, I want to see more. I want to see opportunity. Can we give him 16 minutes a game? The next handful of games. So again, I can't judge a guy's offensive game when he's only getting 2 field goal attempts, right? Like, I mean, he got 1 3. So, he got 1 3 in the garbage time that he played and he made it. So right now he's 50% on the season, right? But I want to see, what does he look like with, real like consistency, right? Is he a guy that can kind of help solve some of the Lakers issues? I thought he moved his feet well defensively. Thought he stayed in front of guys. He had a couple, was it on Brandon Miller, I think, where he oh no, it wasn't Brandon Miller. Who was it? Darn it. It was why am I blanking on his name? It was Sion. There we go. Sion James. That's who it was. Sion was trying to go and beat him off the dribble, and he just moved his feet well and then moved him right into Jake LaRavia, and Jake LaRavia was able to get the tie up. It's little details like that you want to see from a young guy. Right, just getting after it, moving your feet well, playing some defense. Again, can't judge him too much either way, but I thought there were some nice signs in regards to this. LeBron tried to do great things. It sucks because LeBron and Luka both play well. I mean, Luka's been much more efficient, especially from 3 recently. He also hasn't been as ball dominant. He's done a better job of playing within the schemes of things, but Luka had 39, 3 and 4. LeBron had 29, 9 and 6. And again, I mean, LeBron 3 of 6 from 3. Luka was good from 3. It just, they didn't have the support. LaRavia was good. He continues to be really good. I mean, he's our clear-cut starter, but you need that other guy. We really do. We need, like, I like Marcus Smart a lot, but we need somebody that's long, lengthy, and athletic. Right? Marcus Smart is good at the dirty work, good at the hustle plays. Right? He's definitely a scrapper. Right? I don't want to sell him short, but he's not the most athletic guy out there that's able to just get up, go win the 50-50 balls. stuff like that. I'd like some kind of youth, Herb Jones, something like that. The other problem is too is you're going to get Reeves back, and he's going to be slotted into that. Can Reeves hold his own defensively? Is kind of the question. But they could really use his offense and playmaking badly. I mean, Lakers really need Austin Reeves back sooner rather than later because again, his playmaking and his scoring, Lakers are just kind of desperate for it right now. They're not they haven't been as good offensively because they just outside of Luke and LeBron, they don't really have anybody else that can regularly create shots. Kobe Buffkin, idea wise, could, but again, you got to get more opportunities than 2 field goal attempts to see what he can do. Gabe was cardio today, just out there playing, which again goes into the inconsistencies. Again, I don't mind Gabe if we had everything that we need. Right? Like if we were already like a complete team and we had everything we need and Gabe was, because games like this, you don't have to play him at all. Games like this, you just leave him, give him 5 minutes and go, all right, you ain't got it tonight, and sit him. But when you don't have everything that we need, right? And now you're relying on Gabe and you need him to give you your 15 minutes and he goes 0-7, that's a problem. Right? So again, I mean, really it boiled down to same old. Lakers couldn't get stops. Guys couldn't defend. What more do you say? It's the same old story time and time again, game after game after game. This is the usual thing that we get. But I don't know. Hopefully we can be nice to get some a win streak going or something, some confidence. But bright side, and I actually wanted to do a live stream earlier about it. I might do one tomorrow, just kind of talking about the trade scenarios and stuff going on. Good news is Lakers seem to be cooking up some stuff, which is good. Lakers seem to be working on trying to acquire other picks and stuff like that. Try to target some clear upgrades and stuff. So I'm really hoping that the Lakers can get some stuff done sooner rather than later. Talked about like the next few days would be really nice for the Lakers to get that, at least that minor trade done, right? Because Lakers are about to go on an 8-game road trip. Literally, like they have a road game coming up, and then they have, I think, one more home game, and then they go on an 8-game road trip. Not saying you can't do trades on the road, but it's a lot harder, right? Because if let's say you're in Chicago and you trade for Akaya Baji in Toronto, now Akaya Baji's got to go from Toronto to LA, go through all his testing and stuff like that, and then go from LA to to Chicago to meet you on the road, and you don't get practices and you don't get all that other stuff. It'd be nice if we get a trade tomorrow or the next day where we might be able to get a practice or two with that, whoever that is. And then, he can kind of come with us on the road trip. Good thing is, as far as the trade deadline, Lakers come back and from the road trip, and then beginning February 5th, they have an 8-game homestand, which is good because if the Lakers do, let's say they bring in 3 or 4 guys, right? If you're on a road trip, it's hard, you're not getting practices in, you're not doing the things that you could do on a homestand. Where, if you go bring in 3 or 4 guys on a road trip or on a homestand, then you're getting practices in, guys get to sleep in, you can get those guys better acclimated and assimilated and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that again, we get the minor trade, ideally, hopefully, in the next day or two, and then do the big splashy trades and all the crazy trades and stuff like that closer to the offseason. Like, it'd be nice if we could, like I said, get like a Keon Ellis right now. And then, while we're on the road trip, Rob's doing the trade to get the picks and stuff like that. So that way we can gear up and really, make a big splash once we get to the trade deadline. And then you're at home for that stretch to where you can kind of incorporate those guys, get some practices in, get some things in order and all that stuff. Or at least, again, that's the hope. Because, man, this team is so frustrating to watch. It really is. It's funny because, like, I talked about it on More As It Stands Lakers, where I was just like, Look, every year we lose to them. This is going to be the year. You don't do what you're supposed to do, they're going to run out at the gym. They've been really good recently. So anyway, hit that like button for me, hit that subscribe button for me, and let's get into all these super chat questions, all the regular chat questions, all of that stuff. All right, let's get into it. So starting it off, at least it was fun watching LaMelo. Yeah, look, he was lighting us up, man. I mean, some of those shots that he makes are just ridiculous. But well, Lakers did the opposite of what I said. They got squashed by the Hornets. Here's where this happens every year. Never can beat them more than once, and we're stuck with Gabe. No more taking him. I mean, look, they're trying to make some trades and make some moves, so hopefully something comes sooner rather than later. Kuminga, a lot of talks about Kuminga right now. I'm personally high on Kuminga. Don't get me wrong, we don't really fully know what he can do or what he can provide, just because, again, he hasn't gotten a consistent role really ever with the Warriors, right? He hasn't really gotten consistent opportunities. He might be a little bit of a project that needs some, he is going to be a project that needs development, but is it a project to the sense of like where it's like things can be a little rough, or is it a project where like, no, he's good. He needs a year or two before he can be like our clear cut starter or something like that. I think he's going to be pretty good. I think you're going to have him. If you do trade for him, you'll be a healthy, motivated, hungry Jonathan. I think he's going to have a lot to prove. He's going to have a lot that he needs. But more than anything, even if he is just like, okay, right? He's still young, athletic, rebounds the ball well, right? And we need it. We need it. And people forget, Jonathan Kuminga came into the league as a known defender. He was actually really good his first 2 years as a defensive player, right? So hopefully that's something I can buy in, because, man, we need it. Gabe Vincent is walking cardio machine, and Rui is a walking statue. Like I said, Rui played like a guy that is about to get traded. That's what he played like. This wouldn't happen if Lakers had Trey Murphy and Herb Jones. By the way, I agree 1,000%. I really hope the Lakers at least land one of them right now. If not, go get both of them in the offseason. Lakers stink up the gym again. You're not wrong. And it's tough. It's almost like, it's almost expected at this time. It's like, okay, what Lakers are we going to get? Are we going to the Lakers that lose by 30, or are we going to get the Lakers that win by 5? Right? It's just like, which one are we getting? I gave him props when he played good the other day, but Gabe was absolutely terrible tonight. Same with Ayton and Rui. Yeah. Again, look, I don't blame you for giving, guys deserve credit when they play well, right? Like Gabe, Ayton, Rui, all those guys were really good last game. But it's why, I talked about in that last live stream. Like like Gabe is fine if he was our, again, 9th, 10th guy, but when you need him to be your 7th, 8th guy, because you just don't have those things, right? It's one thing when you're reliant on him to be what he was the other night, right? It's another thing when he's just like, when he has a game like this and he's just, not delivering the way that we need him to deliver. Hey, you just don't play him. Problem is Lakers don't have those guys. Cypher coming out the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. The lack of ball movement and slow pace is getting pathetic at this point, and our bench should be embarrassed. Nobody out there is playing to win. Yeah, you're not wrong. You look at the last game, right? Lakers had excellent ball movement. They had 36 assists in that last game. This game they had 18. Right? I did like that they took care of the basketball. Only 9 turnovers, under 10 turnovers. Right? But again, you got to move the basketball. You got to share the basketball. You got to swing the basketball. Like I said, I do think Luka's done a much better job of not being so ball dominant. He's always going to be high usage. He's always going to be ball dominant to an extent, but I do think he's done a much better job of kind of trying to play within the schemes. But you got to do a better job of sharing the basketball, moving the basketball, right? Like, keeping teams on their toes. You can't score and you can't stop the other team. You end up giving up 135 points and only scoring, 117 isn't bad, but it's give up 135. It's tough. So I don't know. Like I said, Lakers really need a makeover, right? They need 3-4 guys. Like I said, either like if they could get like a Herb Jones and Jonathan Kuminga, I think they'd be good. Right. But if you can't, if like let's say you can't get Herb, you need like a Kuminga, whatever, a Kaya Baji and a Keon Ellis. And I think the Lakers would be fine. Because now you have more, you just have better high-end rotation guys than what you got right now currently. So we'll see. But Cypher, I appreciate you. Thanks so much, Super Chat. I genuinely can't wait for next season, bro. This team needs signings and trades so bad, and it's not even funny at this point. I agree. I mean, look, next offseason is like the first offseason in a long time where everything the Lakers need is available, like everything. And they'd have the assets, the money. They're projected to have the second most cap space in the league next or this offseason, right? Like it's just, you know, again, I'd like to at least get a couple moves done. Can you get a couple things done? Because if you can get a couple things done, then one, that's fewer things you need to worry about in the offseason. And, or, you know, you could maybe go make bigger splashes in the offseason if you get those kind of second tier guys. And then two, you know, at least give us a chance this season. We take one step forward and then two steps back, and it's been constant theme since last year. What a pathetic performance, getting smoked by the Hornets at home. Yeah, especially after coming off of the Hawks win, you know. But again, Charlotte's been good, man. They really have. They've been coming together, starting to come into their own. They're lighting teams up. They just can't defend anybody. That's the problem. But they're scoring. The only thing not making me crash out is that the Dodgers signed. Yeah, Kyle Tucker. Yeah, I saw that. Only reason I'm not is Rob might need to get 5 first just to trade Gabe at this point. We're stuck with him. No, I mean, he's an expiring contract. Gabe was on multiple years, yes. If Gabe had a couple years still under his belt, yeah. But he's an expiring contract. A lot of teams want expiring contracts. And there's some teams that are looking for a guy like him. You know, so I don't know. We'll see. Made LaMelo and the Hornets look like the second coming of a finals team. LaMelo always wanting to get up to playoffs. Yeah, I mean, hey, his brother, right, was a Laker, all of that. Tyler, what's going on with your team, man? It's always Pitchfork City. Your guess is as good as mine at this point, but like, it's rough. It's just like, it's like, again, every game, you just don't know what Laker team you're going to get. You don't know if you're going to get the team that just completely disappears and falls off the wagon or the team that, you know, wins a close one. It's just like, needs to get off the roster, trade him or let him walk. Yeah, I mean, that's probably what's going to happen one way or another. I would be very shocked if he's on the Lakers roster next season. Was just toying with Luka and Smart. Yeah, he was cooking. He was. We for real need Reeves back soon, or else I'm going to be injured. Keep playing pace before reaching the playoffs. Yeah, well, that's always my concern too with LeBron, right? Like every year he has to do so. He has to go drop 30 just for us to get blown out by 18. You know, it's just we've seen that a lot over the last few years. And and then by the time you get to the playoffs, he's worn down. He's worn out. And again, Lakers need Reeves. They need his playmaking. They need his scoring, right? Another guy that can consistently put together some stuff for this Lakers team. Dean is if Rob waits until February 5th trade deadline, it'll be too late. This team needs a trade now and not later. Problem is you can only trade with what's available right now, right? Like, and that's the problem. That's why you're seeing the Lakers have to explore all these other things. You gotta remember, teams aren't in a rush to trade with the Lakers. Teams are in a rush to help the Lakers. I don't think it'd be too late, right? Like, again, Lakers still have a pretty favorable schedule this month. Even if they kind of trade games back and forth, they'll still be in like the playoff hunt. Luckily, teams like Houston, so like you look at the Western Conference right now, all of the Western teams have not been super great. Like Spurs have been in a slump, Rockets are terrible, right? Like Denver's kind of the only team that is still consistently winning without Jokic, which is crazy. But outside of that, like all the Western Conference teams keep kind of trading games too, so it's kind of keeping the Lakers afloat right now. And I think that'll continue. Like, I think the Lakers will be able to stay afloat until the trade deadline. I want that minor trade at least, but I think they'll be able to stay afloat till the trade deadline and then make that, you know, second half push like they usually do. Lakers are usually better in the second halves of the season every year. They kind of go make that push. So it's kind of my hope that, worst case scenario, obviously, again, if you can get a trade tomorrow, get a trade tomorrow. But worst case scenario, I think if you can at least kind of keep treading water. Be nice if we could rattle off a couple wins in a row, but keep kind of treading water and then get into the trade deadline and then, make that big swing trade. Hopefully we'll see how that plays out. Like I said, Bindi coming out $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Trade Vando, Rui, Gabe, Maxi, and Gabe fast. Yeah, I get it. You're so frustrated you had to put Gabe twice. No, I get it. It's frustrating, right? Like, we need to get a trade. I mean, Lakers are shopping Vando right now. So I made a video about it, but I wanted to talk about Bridges going into the game. So I'll actually have the Vando video up tomorrow or in the morning. But right now, Lakers are shopping Vando because if they do get what they want, they're going to have to take on some salary and they still want the flexibility. The idea is like, okay, if you get, say, a Herb Jones, right? Like, yes, you're taking on, what is this contract next year? I think it's like 24, 25 million, something like that. But at least you cleared 11 million off of that 25. So it's like him making 14 million, right? So like Lakers are trying to package Vando. My only problem with trading Vando is Lakers need 2 or 3 guys on top of Vando, right? Like my problem is like, let's say you trade Vando and you get a Herb Jones, right? Which would be an upgrade. You'd be better, but you still like now all you have is Herb Jones. That is, athletic, versatile defensive player, right? Like my thing with Vando is like, unless you're like, if Lakers are to say Lakers get Jonathan Kuminga without having to give up assets, right? Let's say because Warriors apparently want expirings, Nets apparently want expirings, whatever. So let's say the Lakers are able to get Jonathan Kuminga, right? If they can get Kuminga and then also land like a Herb Jones or something like that, or Miles Bridges or something like that, then yes, then sign me up for that, right? Because then at that point, I think you can justify losing Vando. My concern is that let's say you just get like a Kuminga and you end up trading Vando in that trade, right? Because let's say the Warriors are like, you know what, Vando would be great on our team. My concern is that now you don't have that other athletic, versatile wing, right? The idea would be, because right now he's all you got. Right? So you need him so much more. The idea is like if you can get a Keon Ellis, like a Kai Abaji, and a whatever Jonathan Kuminga, right? Well, then now you can just have Vando kind of be your assignment guy. So now you don't need him to play 20, 25 minutes. You can just play him, that 12 to 16 minute range. He's getting 3 to 4 minutes a quarter, and he can just kind of hone in and just do all the dirty work and do the hustle plays and all that stuff. That's my only thing. And then you also followed up, which again, I appreciate you. And DK. Yeah, I think DK is going. It sounds like obviously nothing's done until it's done. Nothing's like, but it sounds like if the Lakers do land Kuminga, which is kind of gaining some traction, that if the Lakers do land Kuminga, it's going to be DK and Rui for Kuminga, which I would do. I've seen some people say otherwise. I would do it. Kuminga is just more athletic. He's a better long-term answer, better defensive player, right? Like people aren't super high on Kuminga's defense. He's still better defensively than Rui Hachimura. I would do it, right? And the other good thing about Jonathan Kuminga is he has a team option next year, if I'm not mistaken. So my guess is what would happen if the Lakers were to trade for Kuminga. They'd land Kuminga, and then in the offseason, deny his option, but give him a new contract, right? Because Kuminga wanted, dating back to the offseason, Kuminga wanted to go to the Lakers. So I could see something where, they decline his option and give him whatever, 3 years, 45 million or something like that, with like maybe like a player option that third year or something like that, just to justify him, sticking around type thing. But appreciate you. And then Michael coming out the Vital Issues. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Every game is a coin flip. You're not wrong. Seriously. Just show me Timmy Buffkin minutes at this point. Hornets second quarter run. JJ gave me ham vibes. I lead in the half. Call timeout, please. Yeah. I mean, Drew Timmy, I still want to see Drew Timmy in an actual NBA game, because there is a lot of questions about like, can he translate? He's killing it in the G League, but again, his lack of athleticism is kind of questionable, right? That's kind of one of those things where it's like, is he somebody that can actually have an impact on an NBA level, especially defensively? Buffkin, I really liked what we saw from him. It was obviously limited. I know people, if they just look at the box score, they're going to be like, he was terrible. Like, he really wasn't. Like, I thought he made a couple mistakes, which is fine. It's first game, but I thought he moved his feet well. He defended well. I thought he made some really nice reads and some really nice plays. Just dirty work plays. Like I said, that play where Ayton, I believe it was Colin Sexton, switched on Sexton, and then Kobe Buffkin, read like, shot's going up. Let me go crash the glass and got the rebound and stuff. Like, just those little things make all the difference. So I liked what we saw from him. But yeah, Lakers got to do a better job, period. JG's got to be better. Lakers got to be better. You said it yourself. Every game is a coin flip essentially, and it's tough. It's hard. At this point, it's just like, I almost expect to come on here and be like, well, here we go again type thing. And it sucks because I don't want that to happen. I want to come on here game after game and talk about how excited I am and, oh my God, we won another one. There's a 4-game win streak or what. Like, I do. I want to have good conversation. I want to come up here and be like, man, Lakers are terrible. Like, that's not what I am. I want to be Mr. Positive. I want to be able to spin things, on a bad night or whatever. But, at some point you have to be honest. At some point you have to be real. But appreciate you, Michael. David, coming out the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. DA, JL, MS, JHR, good bench. Need two more starters. There we go. Tired of front office excuses of evaluate or save cap for the offseason. The G League guards are nice distractions. Yeah. Like I said, I liked what Kobe. I don't mind. Like, obviously, look, if they end up just signing Kobe Buffkin, it's like, there you go, right? Like, yeah, I'm gonna be a little upset. But in previous years, the whole we're just going to go into was kind of a cop out, right? This year, it actually is like, this is probably the one year that it does make sense. Like, this is probably the one year out of the last handful. Because the problem is like, I've talked about it every year, right? Like, I've talked about it a lot recently, right? Like, go look at the free agents the last few seasons. Lakers usually get the guys, but they're not the guys that the Lakers really need to solve the holes that they need, right? So this year is like the one year in, again, years that you actually have everything you need. Like, they could put together a 2020 roster, right? With the amount, they could miss out on 3 or 4 guys and still get 3 or 4 guys, and then throw money at a Peyton Watson or Tari Eason, or if they want to set it, Walker Kessler, right? Like, whatever. Like, it's one of those things where this offseason, I really don't think I think, again, if you can do something, you need to do it, right? Like, I don't want, like, if we find out that the Lakers could have got Jonathan Kuminga without giving up anything, or could have made the trade to go get Herb or something like that, or could have gotten Keon for a second or something like that, and they didn't do it, then yes, I'm going to be upset. But if all the prices are insanely high and stuff, like, again, this is like the one year to make that argument, right? But I at least a couple minor trades, right? Because the minor trades do several things. One, again, like I mentioned, you don't have to get as many guys in the offseason. 2, you give yourself a chance now, right? And then 3, like, you have, like, say Keon Ellis, for example, his cap hit is so cheap, right? So, to sign Keon in the offseason, let's say for $11 million, well, now you only have $44 million in cap space. But Keon Ellis if his cap hit is, say, $5 million, right? Well, then now you have $50 million to spend, because he would be the last thing that you do. Same, it's like the Austin Reeves scenario, right? So to me, I think that there is kind of this potential if you can get the right guys. You get a Kai Abaji, right? He's a restricted free agent, and he's not so good teams are going to be throwing a bunch of money at him, right? So, you could probably get him on a pretty good deal. Like I want to see the Lakers do something to at least give them a chance this year. And then you need those role guys regardless, right? Whether you go trade for Giannis in the offseason or you trade for a Herb Jones and Trey Murphy, whatever they ultimately end up doing in the offseason, you're still going to come back and need those role guys. You're still going to need a Keon Ellis and a Kai Abaji, like guys like that, Io DeSumo, right? Like you're going to need those guys regardless. So if you can make moves to get those guys now, I think you need to get those guys now. So yes, David, I'm with you. We need trades. We do, but appreciate you. Thank you so much again for the super chat. Where was I in the chat? Here I was. Oh, nope, that's not. Here we go. I need Gabe off the team tonight. Kleba and Dalton too. Yeah, hopefully we get a trade sooner rather than later, man. Man, I wish we can get Miles Bridges. I do too. So like the Hornets kind of seem 1 foot in, 1 foot out with Bridges, right? Like Hornets have been pretty good recently, which kind of sucks because if they were bad, then it's more likely that they would trade Melo. But my hope is that they still look at it and go like, hey, if we can get some stuff for him, let's get some stuff for him, right? Open some spots for some younger guys. Kind of this can be the last kind of tank year, kind of lean more into LaMelo, Kneppel, and Brandon Miller, and then, kind of take it from there and then really kind of make some pushes in the offseason. Right? It's probably what I would expect them to do. It's just, what do they want? How much do they want? And can the Lakers figure out a path to get there? He's my favorite option. Like for like guys that we could get, right? Trey Murphy, I'd probably want more, but he's somebody you'd probably really have to sell the farm for. Out of like Herb Jones, Andrew Wiggins, like basically all the other guys, Miles Bridges is my favorite option. You can make an argument Herb Jones is the best kind of natural fit, but give me Miles Bridges. I'll take the upside. Lakers are playing team at this point, if we're lucky. That is, Lakers could be a playing team, but they have such a big cushion on like the 8th below. Like Lakers aren't. I don't see them falling that bad. You know what I mean? Like, never say never, right? Crazy things can happen, but again, Lakers right now are still the 5th seed, despite the loss. They're 2 games back of the 4 seed, 3 games back of the 2 seed, right? They're half a game ahead of the Rockets and a full game ahead of the Suns. So, but you look even beyond that, they're 3.5 games ahead of the Warriors, and they're like 6 games ahead of the Blazers, right? So could the Lakers potentially fall to the 7 seed? Sure. But I think, like I said, I think they'll be a top 5-6 team. The problem is I want the Lakers to be a top 4 team, right? Because I want the Lakers to have home court at least in the first round. Although you could argue Lakers have actually been better on the road this season than they have been at home. They haven't been a good home team this year, which is crazy. They still have, if I'm not mistaken, I think they're still the best road team in basketball. Like they're winning games on the road. I've talked about it. Like if you hadn't watched this season, say you just woke up from a coma, right? And you're like, Tyler, talk to me about the Lakers. Like if I told you, like if I broke down everything that the Lakers are really good at, you'd be like, oh, so Lakers are winning the championship this year, right? Because like it's all like they're the best crunch time team, they're the best field goal percentage team, they're the best mid-range team, best half court team, right? They're the best road team in all of basketball. Like all of these things you need for the playoffs, which is why I've said, like, I wouldn't be shocked that the Lakers are much better in the playoffs, right? When the game slows down, more half court game, they're able to win on the road and stuff. But again, you watch them play and you're like, oh, like, no, this team isn't good. Right? You're like, oh, this team's terrible. LaMelo will have a fine 2-point game next game against the Warriors, man. On a 0 of 15 deep shooting night, this team is sickening. You're not wrong. Lakers can't even beat one of the worst teams. Lakers no defense and Gabe can't shoot. Yes, Lakers have been struggling. Like I said, they lose to the Hornets every year, which is frustrating. Yes, Bridges, he's been the guy I've been trying to speak into existence. Lakers isn't a good team on defense and isn't a good team on offense. They just bad team with big names like Luka and LeBron. And the sad part is that it seems that no one cares and even wants to play D. Yeah, I don't think it's that no one cares. We just don't have guys that can, right? Like, like Rui, again, like Rui probably couldn't defend me. Like, that's the problem. Like, you just have a lot of guys that are one way or the other. And, you need real two-way guys. That's why I've said, like, just adding athleticism. Like, again, Jonathan Kuminga could be terrible, but his athleticism alone would do wonders for this team. Wonders, right? Like, seems like other teams are much faster, stronger, and shoot better than the Lakers. Yeah, it's usually how it goes. Get Gabe off my team. Yeah, I feel that. Let's see. If I hear another Miles Bridges come out of your mouth one more time. Luca Reeves, Peyton, Tari, and Claxton. Thoughts, Tyler? I be all over that. I mean, technically, depending on how much money you could get Peyton and Tari for, Peyton's the guy I'd be throwing money at. Problem is like, Denver's been really reluctant to go into the tax. So, but Peyton's been so good that like it might be justified for them. But if I'm the Lakers, the first thing I'm doing is throwing money at Peyton and daring Denver to match, right? Like, even if you have to overpay, like I said, you have, let's say they do have 55 million in cap space. I'm throwing like 25 at them. Might be an overpay, but hey, you get your young ween for the next 10 years. Like, let's go. And then if you get Peyton, I'm throwing money at Tari's and then go trade for Claxton. Yeah, I mean, probably the best team in basketball at that point. Let's see. By the way, what is JJ's obsession with playing Gabe? I don't get it. JJ better get his together or else. I don't think it's necessarily said. It's just, I mean, it does feel like that at times. I do get that. But the problem is, like, again, we don't really have other guys, right? And it's not like he's playing him like earlier this season. He was playing him like 25 minutes a night, which was frustrating. But he's done a better job of keeping him at like that 12 to 15 minute range, which he played 15 minutes tonight. But like I said, the problem is you need bodies, right? Like, like, again, like, you played Kobe Buffkin 15 minutes. Like, who else could you have played? Dalton Connect's been unplayable. Maybe could have went with Nick Smith Jr. But also, you got to keep in mind, again, I've talked about this before, right? Lakers are trying to trade Gabe. The moment you stop playing Gabe, it's the Jonathan Kuminga, the Keon Ellis issue, where it's like, you want us to give you a guy that is good for a guy that you don't even want to play, right? Like, so at least, it's like, hey, you look at games the other night, he went, what was it, like 3 or 4 from 3 or whatever it was. It's like, hey, like, he can be inconsistent, but he's in the rotation. He has his good nights and we win. Like, it's just, again, it's the perception, right? It's perceived value, right? Like, it's what that's the key word I talk about all the time. You'll hear me say, like, perceived value a lot, because again, it doesn't matter what we value somebody. It doesn't matter what is the market value. What's the perceived value of said player, and you have teams that, yes, want the expirings, but also need to be able to see, like, okay, if Gabe's not our 7th guy, what could he provide for us? Tyler, who do you prefer, Miles Bridges or Trey Murphy? Trey Murphy. Trey Murphy just has higher upside, little longer, right? Too, and he's just younger. So give me that guy. Like, if say both guys were the same price, give me Murphy all day, including Sunday. Like, Trey Murphy might, in the right situation, the right environment, like might end up being like a star. Like he's already there. Like you could make the argument for. Um, Lakers are consistently inconsistent, yeah, since I started watching them when you made the channel. Yeah, dude. Like that was the phrase last year, right? Consistently inconsistent. Uh, they just it hasn't even been. The problem is Lakers this year have been very consistent. Like every other night they're losing. 23s from Charlotte. Yeah, you're not winning very many games. Yeah, we suck. Oh no, we suck again. At this point, where I assume we're gonna lose every night. Not wrong. Gabe's got to go. Yep. Lakers need to make a trade now because they're not contenders yet, and it's so sad. Yeah, Lakers got to get a trade sooner rather than later, for sure. Not mad about this damn game. Make trades. Brooklyn is the team. Look, if you can't pull off all the like crazy stuff, call Brooklyn, right? And just get something done. Brooklyn can solve a lot of Lakers issues. Trey Murphy has a case for player of the month. He's carrying my fantasy since Jokic is out. Yeah, Trey Murphy's been ridiculous. Yeah, he's been Trey Murphy, that dude. Kobe was good. Ain't mad. He didn't get an opportunity to shoot a three yet. Like I said, he's the 10-day guy. He's just kind of thrown out there. He's the guy that your team, like the players got to realize he's on the court is my thing, and he'll get more comfortable. Right, give him a couple games. He's gonna get at least 5 games. Give him another game or two before we really start to kind of judge him. Let him find his footing. Trades need to be made tonight. You're not wrong. After all, it's only a game. As frustrating as it seems, as frustrating as it is to see the Lakers lose, it's only a game. Might as well be philosophical about it for now anyways. But if it is this bad a year from now, yeah, I don't even want to put that into existence, right? Kobe played solid defense. Just didn't get a lot of touches. Yeah. And that's what you want to see, right? The dirty work, the hustle plays, the grit, right? He grabbed a couple rebounds. He had, a couple nice, I thought, defensive sequences. Again, you kind of just at a glance, right? He gave you a steal and a block, right? With 3 rebounds. 3 rebounds, a steal and a block in 16 minutes of action, right? And that's not counting the just defensive stops that he did get. You had, what was it? I think he had a sequence against LaMelo where he actually played great defense. Melo just hit the shot, right? Like I can live with that. If you're playing good defense and they're just hitting, it is what it is. But like, it's one thing when, you're playing good defense and a guy just hits a shot. It's another thing, it's the whole saying, better offense. I'll take better offense over defense any day. But when you're not playing defense and guys hitting open shots, it's different. Is there any way we can get Peyton Watson? He's been looking really good. Not right now. I just don't see Denver. But technically, I mean, it's possible in the offseason, like genuinely. Denver's in like purgatory. And you throw enough money at Watson, they might not even be able to match it. Right? They end up in the second apron or something like that. Like they're kind of screwed. So there ain't no justice. Trade AR. Again, not against trading anybody as long as the trade makes sense. How did y'all play a complete game last game and then play straight card? You guess as good as mine, Chris. Yeah, I mean, Lakers look like it was like, oh man, it's tale of 2 games, right? It's like you had a Lakers team last game was like, okay, maybe they can do something this year. To right back to being the inconsistent team that they are. LeBron needs a pass, but LeBron's been the better. Honestly, LeBron's been a better setup guy than Luka's been lately. Now I'm done. We just lost to the Hornets at home. Fire Rob and JJ or get some damn trades. Yeah, we lose to the Hornets every year. Literally every year. Lost to them last year. If I'm not mistaken, we lost to them the year before. Like, for whatever reason, we always lose one of them. They went from 36 assists last game to 18 this game. Be frustrated. Yeah, you're not wrong. Lakers are cooked right now. It feels that way. No trade is going to help this roster. We have to clean house during the offseason. I don't think any singular trade by itself saves the Lakers. But again, you get 2 or 3 guys, it changed a lot, right? Imagine having whatever, Keon Ellis instead of Gabe Vincent. His defense, his athleticism, his rebounding, his shot making, all of that. Imagine that. Imagine, having Jonathan Kuminga instead of Maxi Kleba and Dalton Connect. Like, you don't think like that makes the team significantly better, right? Like, again, or if you get a Herb Jones, imagine Jake LaRavia doing what he's doing, but off the bench, right? Like, it just, again, you get the right 2 or 3 guys, changes everything. I mean, again, look, Jared Vanderbilt and D'Angelo Russell in 2023. We went from 2-10 in the conference finals. I know we got ran through by Denver, but talk about a turnaround, right? Like, again, you get the right guys, it changes a lot. Especially because, remember, basketball is outside of tennis. Basketball is probably the only sport that one guy makes literally all of the difference, right? And then on top of that, you add in, you play 5-on-5. You change 2-3 guys to your 5. That's out there on the court. Again, you're a completely different team at that point. So, JJ needs to be fired right now. I disagree. JJ's far from the problem. Again, coach is only as good as players. Fire JJ. Then what? Bring in Mike Malone. Okay, Denver was one of the worst defensive teams in the league with better defensive players than the Lakers have. Right? So Mike Malone isn't fixing the defense. And yeah, sure, they might be better off it, but again, Mike Malone's not going to magically make Rui defensively good or athletic or anything like that. Again, I don't care. You get any coach. Pick your favorite coach. Lakers aren't going to all of a sudden become a contender because they got a coach, right? Like, the problem is a personnel thing. Tired of LeBron and Luka carrying this. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I feel for them, man. They're doing everything they can, and it's just, I can't deal with Gabe anymore. I don't blame you. Trade for LaMelo Ball. My goodness. Watch a couple more games of LaMelo, and you'll feel very different. Like, this was one of his games. And don't get me wrong, he does this kind of pretty regularly. But somebody said it earlier. He'll go he's gonna go. He'll have 2 points, go 15. Like, it happens. LaMelo's can be pretty all over the place at times. Lakers can't stop a fly, and they need defense. I mean, look, he's not. Look, I'm the first one to criticize, talk about trading Austin Reeves, but he can be serviceable defensively. But it's more so than that. Like, yes, Lakers need defense, but they also the offense has been awful. They're not able to score consistently. Lakers, like, Austin Reeves takes pressure off of a lot of things. His playmaking, his versatility. He was also the best at getting Ayton going, right? Like, and so again, his playmaking, his shot creation, his scoring, the gravity that he draws from things that just generate looks and stuff like that. Lakers really need that badly, right? LeBron and Luka go to the bench. Like, this team has nothing. That's why you have to have LeBron and Luka on the court, and then you have LeBron and Luka LeBron with a bunch of non-scorers, and then you have Luka with a bunch of non-scorers. Imagine if you had LeBron and Reeves or Luka and Reeves. Let's see. Doing cardio every game, would you rather us trade for Brandon Miller instead? If they were interested in shopping him, yeah. I'd love Brandon Miller. Problem is, I don't see them. Like, they would probably trade LaMelo before they trade Brandon Miller. Like, LaMelo's in trade discussions, right? Like, you hear rumors and talks regularly about him being in trade discussions. You don't hear that about Brandon Miller. Like, Brandon Miller and Colin Kneppel are arguably their 2 most consistent players. Air is truly missed right now. Yes, agreed. Um, can't fix this team. Of course you can. It just will they, or can they? Gabe is not worth 11 million. If he was a vet minimum, then I wouldn't care. Yeah, that's the problem. You're paying him 11 million a year. My dog could have done better than Gabe. JJ needs to stop with his obsession to Gabe. Again, I don't think it's necessarily an obsession. I mean, maybe, right? Again, I can't call JJ and talk to him, but I think it's more two things. I think one, I think it's they don't have anybody else right now, and two, I think it's they need to play him so that way they can trade him. We need players that got heart. Man, give me those guys contracts. I love hoping I will tell them to make some damn shots. Yeah, hopefully Lakers can get a couple guys. They need it. Lakers ain't got no bench. How the bench only combined for 9 points. Yeah, and part of the idea was that like Rui coming off the bench would fix some of that, and it hasn't yet. No, he's 1 of 4. He had 3 points. Vando was our leading scorer off the bench, and he had 6. So get it. You're arguably your worst offensive player was your best bench scorer. Like, it's just not good. We need a better bench there. Terrible, yes. Trade the whole bench. You're not wrong. Let's see. Let's see. I hope Rob focuses on trading for bench production and defense. I mean, depending on what you get, could naturally solve both. Like, for example, you get a Herb Jones, right? Well, then now Jake LaRavia moves to the bench. So if he can give you, similar production, what he's doing as a starter off the bench, well, then there you go. You add in a Keon Ellis. You add, again, you get 2 or 3 guys. You could just naturally solve that progression. Or, Lakers get Jonathan Kuminga and Keon Ellis, right? This team sucks, period. 0 athleticism, bench terrible, shooting, shoots us out of the game, no rebounding, terrible interior defense, 0 perimeter. Get rid of Dalton, Hayes, Gabe. Hayes didn't even play. Hayes has actually been better than Ayton lately. That's how OKC is good, is because of the bench production and defense. Yeah, they just got a bunch of scrappers. Better not be on the team past the summer. I don't want to see him in later. I would be very shocked if he was. We need Austin. Yeah, agreed. Do you think Ayton is a long-term center? Depends on what the Lakers do and what their roster construction is. Right? I've talked about this before. Think of Phoenix when he was at his best. You had athleticism, defense, and shooting around him. Right? So Ayton, all he had to do was focus on rebounding and dominating on the interior. Right? But like, you watch him right now with this Lakers team, because these are one of our more athletic guys. He's defending out on the perimeter. He's defending in drop, right? Like, he's got to make up for a guy. Like, guy gets blown by. He's got to now stay in front of a guy, like, where you get the right pieces, right? So like, let's say Lakers get like a Peyton Watson and a Herb Jones in the offseason, right? Then potentially. I do still have concerns with like Luka, Reeves, and Ayton, just because, Luka and Reeves lack of defense. Again, Reeves can be serviceable, but ideally, like, for Ayton to really be the best version of Ayton, to where it's like, oh, Lakers could win a championship with Ayton and Luka. Ideally, you want something like, Ayton, Keon Ellis, or sorry, not Ayton, Luka, Keon Ellis, Herb Jones, Peyton Watson, and then a DeAndre Ayton, where you just have 3 athletic, versatile, 2-way, guard wings out on the perimeter. And then Ayton can just kind of focus on the interior, be that help defender, be that rim protector, and then be the lob threat and offensive weapon. Like, that would be the idea. But if we're going, if we're going to have really with Austin Reeves, you probably want like a Nick Claxton or somebody like that. a more versatile defensive center with 2 athletic wings. So yeah, basically the versatile defensive center, 2 versatile defensive wings with Luka and Austin Reeves. Probably the way to go. It just like I said, it just depends on what the team makeup is. Feel like we're in the Max Headroom Lakers conundrum. The truth is that this is not the roster that fits well together, has too many limitations, and lacks speed and overall athleticism. Yeah, you're not wrong. Is there any way my GOAT can head to Golden State Warriors? I mean, if he wants to. Problem is, Lakers gave him the chance last season. He said no. All right, Tyler. If Laravia is starting, the starting 5 should be Luka, AR, Jake, LeBron, and Ayton. So do you think another 2 to 3 new good bench players would solve the Lakers' problems? Yeah, if you get the right guys, right? Like, again, you get 3 athletic, versatile, two-way players, right? Not even like high-end guys. Like I said, a Keon Ellis, Jonathan Kuminga, and a Kai Abaji. Yeah, now you have athleticism and youth and speed and things like that. I mean, imagine those guys with LeBron out there in transition with like Jackson Hayes, right? I mean, you want to talk about being able to push the pace and get out in transition and generate easy buckets and stuff like that. LeBron needs to request a trade. I mean, if the Lakers don't really have anything planned, right? Like if genuinely, if the Lakers don't have like if the Lakers really do want to go into the offseason, then I think LeBron should be like, hey, like get me out of here. And if they trade for Kuminga, who gets out of the starting 5? Most likely Jonathan Kuminga would probably come off the bench this year. Unless he's just like that good. But like Kuminga, you're probably, because again, you're injecting him into the season, right? So you probably like it's more about the minutes, and like he probably closes certain games and stuff like that. But it's more about just like, hey, you're gonna get your 25 minutes a night, but it's gonna be in a bench role, and then next season we'll look to you, in a post LeBron era. If LeBron departs in the offseason, you get to kind of come in and fill that role. Y'all hate AR. We need him. We do need him. I'm hearing rumors JJ got fired. As far as I know, no. I can smell the stench this team gives off from the living room. Yeah, you're not wrong. Let's see. Lakers are a bunch of bums, and I'm unemployed, so that says a lot. I appreciate the honesty. That was great. Let's see. Our roster held slow. We have no athletes. We getting embarrassed, or we getting exposed hella bad type of way. Yeah. When you don't have the athleticism, this is what happens. AR doesn't solve what the Lakers need. Yep. Oh, no. AR, sorry, I read that wrong. AR does solve. He doesn't solve like the defense and athleticism issues, but he solves the consistent bucket getter and the playmaking. Like he's going to make things easier offensively, which will naturally give guys more energy on the defense side of things. It's just about them buying in. It just, again, it makes it easier to keep up. You're still going to have, your woes and whatnot, but you at least you be in a better position to fight is the thing. So, sorry, I got notified, make sure it wasn't anything, because last year I was on a live stream twice, and the Lakers pulled off a trade twice. So now that we're at this time of the year, every time I'm on a live stream, I'm like, is there anything? Let's see. Trade LeBron again. If the Lakers aren't going to do anything, if the Lakers are just genuinely going to go into the offseason, if I'm LeBron, I would ask out. Yes, and agreed. LeBron is not the problem. Miles Bridges cooked us. Go trade for him. Also, this roster is dog water. I wanted trades, but at the same time, I don't know if trades are going to save us. And also, what if we give up assets and we don't win? Even like if you make the right trades, you need those guys regardless, right? So even if you give up the assets and you don't win, those are guys, hopefully, ideally, are guys that you want on your roster next season and beyond, right? So like I'm hoping the Lakers aren't just like trading for guys where we're like, yeah, this makes no sense. Why are these guys on the roster, right? Like, no, the idea would be to trade for guys that really help, for now, put you closer. But even if you don't win, it's like, hey, these guys are going to be great alongside, the big swing, big name players in the offseason. Let's see. It's our bench. Our bench is the worst in basketball, so definitely could use that. Why couldn't we have hustled tonight? We did it against Atlanta and we won by almost 30. Why are players always inconsistent with their effort? Your guess is as good as mine. Let's see. Do a couple more. I'm going to skate on out of here. Listen, Jonathan Kuminga. I like Jonathan Kuminga. Jonathan Kuminga, Keon Ellis, and Malik Monk. And we go all the way. Trade Rui, Gabe Maxey, Dalton Connect. I am all for it. Maxey and Gabe got to go. How mad would you be if the Lakers don't do a trade? I mean, I'd be disappointed. I wouldn't be mad. Mad's probably the wrong word. Just because I know what could potentially happen this offseason. The reason I say potentially is because you never really know, right? yeah, like there's plenty of guys, but like again, there is a real argument. Like, I mean, you could probably put together a better argument to go in, unless you can trade for a Herb Jones or something like that, right now, which I don't know how realistic that is right now. But again, like if it also, like I said, it also depends on like what was available and if the Lakers just didn't take it, right? Like, which I talk about all the time. Like it sucks because we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, right? Like, so like a first for Keon Ellis makes no sense. Why would we do that when we could just sign him in the offseason? Right? Like, again, it's just like, let somebody else be that sucker. Right. But like, if say we could have got say we don't do anything and word gets out that the Lakers could have gotten Jonathan Kuminga for no assets and Keon Ellis for a second, and then, traded their first to get just one first to get Herb Jones. And it's like, wait a minute, you're telling me, so basically for the Lakers assets right now, they could have gotten, Keon Ellis, Herb Jones, and Jonathan Kuminga, but they elected to just go into the offseason, then yes, I'd be mad. Right. But assuming we don't get that, news, I wouldn't be mad. I'd be disappointed, but I wouldn't be mad, because again, I do think that there's a genuine argument. I don't think the Lakers will win anything this year, but let's see. Lakers losing bottom tier teams. This is pathetic. If I was outside, I would spit on the ground. Maybe later I'll do it. Just this sucks right now. I feel it. It is incredibly, incredibly frustrating. Let's see. Sorry, trying to find something to me real quick. I do too, Tyler. I want to be positive too. So let's do it then. But yeah, we gotta be honest, and that might sound positive. This team is pathetic. Yeah, like I said, at some point you gotta talk about the frustrations. The frustrations. Let's see. Gabe Rui, Kleba, and Connect need to be gone. Can't continue to let this ship sink. Yeah, I agree. Let's see what else. Lakers will lose to Whirlwinds. Oh my god, that was a good one. Oh, Miguel coming out $2 super chat. Okay, perfect. This is a good place to end it. End it on a super chat. Obviously, if I get another super chat, then I'll continue through those. But outside of that, I'm gonna skate on out here. I've been going over an hour. This is 2022-2023 Mavs again for Luka. Feels bad, yeah. But I mean, you look at what was it, 23-24 Mavs? Was that the team? Again, you get a couple right pieces, all of a sudden you're there. make the right moves, make the right trades. You're there. Again, it's basketball. You can't underestimate the value of 2 or 3 guys. And again, you add in 2 or 3 guys to the starting, or one guy to the starting, or 2 or 3 guys to the rotation. Again, that's basically an entirely new team, entirely new makeup, right? Like, again, you imagine having another 2 or 3 guys that could actually hit the three ball consistently and rebound and win those 50-50 balls, and defend and stay in front of guys, and actually give you the effort and energy on a nightly basis. Do wonders, right? Do absolute wonders for this team. But anyway, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for super chat. Like I said, I'm gonna skate on out of here, everyone. Probably gonna do live stream tomorrow if I can get my if I can get the time to do it, because I want to talk about all the trade rumors and stuff like that. So hopefully we'll be able to get that done and get some trades done and stuff like that. Obviously, if we end up doing a trade, then I'll probably definitely jump on a stream. But yeah. Anyway, outside of that, I appreciate y'all. Thank you everyone for hanging out with me. You guys are beautiful. Everyone that gave me super chats, thank you so much. Seriously, helps me out a ton. You have no idea. On your way out, if you haven't yet, hit that like button for me. Hit that subscribe button for me. And I